Okay, imagine this. Jesus is coming to your house. Wow. You're having community group. Some people are coming over. It's you, your friends, and a couple others from church or whatnot. And somebody texts you or lets you know that, hey, we also invited Jesus and he's coming to your house. And you're hosting this community group. I mean, if you grew up in a Slavic home or any kind of Russian home, you know that any guests at your house, you're automatically like, you know that there's going to be at least 72 hours of cleaning beforehand. You know, you're going to scrub the floors. The blinds need to be dusted and cleaned. You know, everything's got to be put away, making sure that your home looks very, very, very nice for the guests. And I want you to feel the panic a little bit, because that's where we're at in Luke 10 with the story of Mary and Martha. There's people coming over, and they also let her know that, hey, Jesus is coming as well, and he's bringing some friends. And in Luke 10:38-42, we read that Mary is sitting at the feet of Jesus. And starting from verse 40, we see Martha. It says, "But Martha was distracted with much serving. And she went up to him and said, 'Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her then to help me.' But the Lord answered her, 'Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her.'" I find it super interesting that Jesus didn't say, "Hey, Martha, why aren't you over here with Mary? Why aren't you sitting here and listening?" Because they were both doing a good thing. One was serving Jesus and one was listening to Jesus. And so Jesus almost knows that everybody's different. He knows that he can't say, "Hey, Martha, why aren't you more like Mary?" Or, "Mary, why aren't you more like Martha?" Because they're two different people. You know, there's the Martha types who are most of the hosts. They're the homemakers. They make things really nice. They cook well. They set up the table very, very well. And then there's the Marys who are more interested in the discussion and thoughts and meditation and thinking about and reading and journaling. So, but both can go separate ways, because obviously we see that Martha was used to Mary helping her in different scenarios. So it's not like Mary was just being lazy. So what's interesting is when they had that choice to make, when Jesus came, started talking or reading, or perhaps they had a choice to make. And when choosing, it says that Mary chose the better part, or the good portion. And I want us not to miss this, that the better part is available to both of them. Or in this case, for this discussion, it's available to all of us. When we're faced with a choice, we can choose a better part. And it's a choice we will all have to make. I mean, think about your daily life, perhaps. You know, for my scenario, I would use, maybe we go to a conference and or seminar, and we get fired up for Jesus. We see God doing amazing thing in this missionary, or perhaps this camp or this ministry, and we say, you know what, I want to be involved. I want to do this. Man, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to go serve the Lord, and I'm going to go overseas somewhere. And we get so fired up, but then the things of Martha come in, right? We still have to go to work. We still have to put food on the table. You know, if you're married and if you have kids, you still have to take care of them. Somebody's got to clean the house. So or perhaps you're the Martha of the church. You know, there's so many ministries at church. There's so many things to do. Man, this needs to get cleaned up. This needs to be updated. And so how do we choose the better part and still get things done? How do we choose the part that's spending time with God in the quiet by his feet and still happen to get things done? And I think for us, Jesus is the best example. Every day he was here on earth, he was never in a hurry. he would never do something wrong. He would use every minute, every day for God's glory, and he had a plan because he was in constant communication with God. And I think that is the goal for us, to be so in tune with God that he's guiding us. He's directing us, saying, hey, maybe you should put the dishes down and go listen to this sermon. This is important. Or, hey, maybe you shouldn't focus so much on the audio or the video and listen to this sermon. This sermon is for you. Or perhaps maybe you're so stressed out about getting your sermon ready that you didn't spend time communicating and praying and asking God to speak through you. And I think that's the everyday choice. When we work, we choose work, and we do that for God's glory. And when we need to worship, we worship and put all things to the side. And I think all of us can learn an amazing example from Mary, which it says choosing the best part. There's both choices. One's to serve Jesus and one's to listen to Jesus, but one is the better part. And I think that comes from communication and a relationship with God that we have, that he says, hey, this is better. This is the better choice. This is the better career for you because you're my son, you're my daughter, and I have a plan for you. And I think, just to kind of end the story here, Jesus is inviting all of us to leave the kitchen, perhaps, leave the computer screen, and say, hey, spend some time with me. Make the better part. Yes, work is important, but worship is also. And for us to decipher which is better, we need that relationship with God and with Jesus Christ, so he can say, hey, you've chosen the better part. God bless you guys. Hope this is encouragement to you.